Welcome to the Yarrabilby Hop Rogaine race briefing. I'm not going to repeat the final instructions document. I'm just going to highlight a few of the key points and chat to you about the race in general. The race is interesting. It's a mix of urban, rural residential and bushland. Generally, the further you get from the hash house, the rougher the terrain and the harder it will be. But it was interesting planning, and I think you'll find it interesting to race. The map handout's a little different. We're going to have all the maps in plastic sleeves with the team number clearly displayed on it, so that you can just simply send one person from the team up to collect the map. That will have your tags for your wrists and all the other information you need, including descriptions, checkpoint descriptions and things like that. Inside that packet is also the packet of wipes that you're going to use for wiping down the electronic punches as you go around. That information is in the COVID safe plan that you've already been sent. The start of the race will be a little different. Rather than all clumped together, we'll be spread out over all the area, and you simply need to be able to see me and hear me when I yell out go, and that will be fine legally, but you're not too far away obviously. Most of the checkpoints will be done with the traditional orienteering flag that you're used to. However, a few of the checkpoints are close to paths that are quite frequently walked on, and so some of them we've hidden a little bit behind trees, and some of them we use tape, such as this, to mark them. Any of those checkpoints are marked on the checkpoint descriptions, so make sure that you check the checkpoint descriptions as you're going around for that. In particular, you'll need to check the checkpoint descriptions because there's one checkpoint that's only open from 1 p.m. till 7 p.m. and so you want to make sure you put that into your planning as soon as possible. At the start of the race, there's 4 checkpoints close to the hash house, which are going to be manned by volunteers. These volunteers will have 2 punches generally each, and they'll hold the punches. You simply have to come up, they'll punch your wrist, and then you can move on quickly. The reason for this is COVID-19, to help us maintain our 1.5 metre distancing, and also so that you don't have to worry about wiping down the punches before and after use, and we can all just get on with the rest of the race. So, COVID. Boy, it's really messed our year up. We have a COVID safe plan. It falls underneath the COVID safe plan for outdoor recreation activity providers that's been approved by the Queensland Government. Now, we all know that there's been no community transmission in Queensland for quite a few weeks. However, we still need to follow the rules. Rogaine needs to show that it's a safe sport, that we can follow the rules, so that if there is another outbreak next year, we can continue to compete without too many problems. So please have somebody in your team read the full COVID safe plan, and if everyone can read the COVID safe summary 1-page document that went out with the final instructions. Also note that I have heard just recently that there was been some very recent sewage testing at Goodna that came back with some positive results for COVID. So it is obviously still in our community. Lastly, on the COVID thing, if you do return close to 8 o'clock when there's a bit of a rush, we're going to have volunteers holding the finish checkpoints again. Please go up to them, get them to punch your wrist. Then there'll be next to them a volunteer who'll cut the wristbands off your wrist and take them from you from scoring. And if you could then progress away from the finish checkpoints quickly so we can maintain the 1.5 metre distance, that would be great. And lastly, if you're not feeling well, just don't come. There will be a full refund for anyone who doesn't attend because of sickness. So if that wasn't enough, and just to add a bit of spice to the event, the area we are running it in used to be a military base during World War II for the US Army. And so they still occasionally find some unexploded ordnance in the area. If you happen to come across anything that looks vaguely like that, don't check it out, just mark it on your map, take some photos, come back and either tell me or tell the authorities during the week exactly where you found it, and we'll take care of the rest. Okay, so some final points. If you finish early, you still need to come back to the hash house and drop off your tags from your wrist. If you come across a team in medical distress, please stop and help them. We will credit you with some points or some time as appropriate. My contact number is on the course notes, so if you need to be removed from the course for any reason, call me and we'll organise somebody to come out and pick you up as soon as possible. Of course, if you're badly injured, 000 is always the best option, but call us straight afterwards because we may be able to help direct the ambulance depending on where you're at. Any team that makes it back to the hash house under their own power will be given a ranked result. Do not use smartphones for anything other than those calls because it's cheating to look up any online information or mapping to see where you are. If you need to go while out on the course, please bury your waste. There are toilets at the hash house, at the shops in Yarrabilba, and there's a small park with a toilet in the eastern end of Yarrabilba as well. And make sure you lock up your cars because although we'll have somebody at the race HQ most of the day, we can't keep an eye on all the cars, and it is an urban area after all. So if you can help me out with control collection either after the race or the next day, please let me know. That would be great. In particular, I'm hoping to pick up the urban ones fairly quickly. So thanks to the volunteers. Thanks to my brother Ross, who came out and placed controls both for their first time in August and also for this latest race. My wife and children for putting up with me being busy getting the race ready all the time and videoing me. Thank you to Mark Roberts for the map. He's done a really good job on it. And also thanks to Kim, Jan, Yoris, Michael, David, Astrid, Andrew, Alan, Adam, Vince, Mitchell and Sean for all the help both setting up and pulling down the first time and doing it again the second time. And thanks to anyone else that I've forgotten who's helped out. Also we'd like to thank Lend-Lease for letting us use this land of development, and also thank the National Parks for letting us use the bushland area. That's it. See you on the course.